One, and I know we have discussed this a few times, so I thought it'd be an interesting thing to chat about briefly, was about this new study that came out about ChatGPT may be eroding critical thinking skills, according to a new MIT study. So here is the first paragraph. It says the study divided 54 subjects, 18 to 39-year-olds from the Boston area, into 3 groups and asked them to write several SAT essays using OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google search engine, and nothing at all, respectively. Researchers used an EEG to record the writer's brain activity across 32 regions and found that of the 3 groups, ChatGPT users had the lowest brain engagement and consistently underperformed at neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels. Over the course of several months, ChatGPT users got lazier with each subsequent essay, often resulting to copy and paste by the end of the study. Shock horror for anyone?
Totally shocked. Completely unexpected, and it cannot be true because all the fanboys online tell me that AI makes us more intelligent. Of course, I'm being sarcastic, but no, this doesn't shock me at all. How about you guys?
I think when thinking about this, like when I was at school, primary school, we didn't have actually computers. I think we started getting computers maybe out just when we were graduating from primary school. So, and it didn't have much of a difference, I guess at the time, with no internet or just internet very rarely occurring in the households. So I think generation after me, I'm 34 years old now, with the access to the internet, has already changed the way they think and the way their brains probably develop. Now on the next level, AI kind of level, I just don't know how these people will grow and how they will develop for humans. I just don't know.
Yeah, I think there's.
I actually think that we have a great benefit of being educated back in the days and now using it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have to be a little bit careful with that because I remember when AI first started coming out, and we often heard this argument when we were chatting to people about, well, people went crazy when the calculator came out, and everyone thought that everyone was going to get dumber then. So maybe it won't, maybe it will has such a large impact on the way we think and do things.
You have 2 kids. What's your view?
Yeah.
Like, tell us the real stuff.
Well, luckily I have not had to come head to head with it yet, but it is in the back of my mind, and it is a concern. Like when you get homework, for example, like any kid is just gonna, like, you're always looking for ways to cheat on your homework. It's not the right thing to do. Obviously, you're just a kid and you don't want to do what you have been told to do, rather than thinking about the educational aspect and benefit of it. So 100% they will just go straight onto ChatGPT, probably just take a picture of the homework on their iPhone, upload the image to ChatGPT, and it will just give them all the answers, and voila. But I'm probably not the best person to answer, but I'm sure the people who make these education laws and whatnot up have a lot to think about here. But from a personal perspective, even just usage of AI, I definitely noticed even maybe more even recent than that, 3 to 4 months, like excessive use of AI for, like, not everything, but way more than perhaps I should have. And I'm now under my own personal kind of control to not use it, and only use it once I've done the hard work myself. But not even the hard work, but like the heavy work, thinking more deeply and actually using my brain rather than just using all of the AI's ideas.
I want to do a thought experiment with you guys. So I'm painting a Squid Games episode right now. Sorry, not Squid Games. What's it? Is it Black Mirror? Yeah. Where every episode is like a utopian.
That's
okay,
it.
so let's play a Black Mirror episode just for the sake of this thought experiment. So in this Black Mirror episode, let's say everyone in the world is offered the ability to consume a drug, and that drug gives everyone the same supernatural abilities, okay, beyond what your body would typically be capable of. I mean, we call pervitin, for example, but in a less harmful way. So you have access to all of that, and you can choose to use it. Probably a vast majority of population would use it, yeah? and they would probably, be good while they're on it.
Mhm.
But the downside is you have muscle atrophy. So because actually the muscles would be asked to do less in this metaphor, in this thought experiment, you're paying for it by actually letting your body do less. Okay.
Mm.
So the output while you're on it is higher. The fundamental ability to live without it is lower. Here's the thought experiment. In that world, what do you think is happening to society and mankind if a subset of the population is now resisting to use the drug and is actually investing in itself? Will that be a more equal society or a more elitist society? I'm wondering what you think.
So I think that this leads to more like differences between people, because there will be people who are, the majority will probably be using it, the crowd will be using it, and very small numbers of people wouldn't be using it, so that it's more it's diversified, that the bottom part and the top part, or even bigger magnitude. So yeah, I think that's what I think.
So the question is whether you think it would be better for society.
Yeah, will it be more equal or more elite?
More elite.
Yeah, I think more elite. I think it will just exaggerate actually what already exists within like society. Of you have elite, like elitism, and then you have people at the bottom, and I think that divide will
More-
we actually live in that Black Mirror episode. I don't know if everybody out there realizes that, but it's called fast food. It's actually called very cheap, poor processed food that everybody has more access to. I mean, not that it isn't expensive, it is, but not everybody can actually go and have healthy food, especially not in high cost countries like the United States, except those that actually have the education to care about nutrition and perhaps have access to the time to prepare meals, etc., etc. In my opinion, we're living in it in every aspect of society today, and AI is no different. It's a drug that leads to muscle atrophy.
I agree.
My personal opinion.
I agree. It's like actually mortgages are similar example, but completely different. So
I did not expect that out of all responses.
People, that's interesting analogy, I know, but people can now take mortgages and get a house that they can barely afford, and keep paying that 40% of their salaries on mortgages while pretending to be happy, rather than creating something meaningful for themselves, perhaps, or and buying, having enough buying power to buy the house. Perhaps it's obviously not as simple as I said, but I think this is similar an analogy.
No, I think the metaphor you're pointing out is the dependency aspect, right? So becoming dependent on something rather than having the fundamental physique to actually whatever deal with it. So that's how I'm hearing your metaphor.
I actually saw this thing. Last point on this. Before we'll stay on some AI stuff, which is funny as well, but we'll get there. But one thing I saw was that this person, this was on X, had uploaded a picture of themselves and their mother, but their mother had passed away, and AI was actually able to not bring them back to life, but show perhaps how the woman, the mother was like interacting and talking and whatnot. And then people were talking about how if something like this continues, like eventually that you'll be able to almost recreate dead people, and we will just end up getting stuck in this world where you're just ended up communicating with people that you have lost, and you will just become so out of touch with reality, and it would all cause all sorts of like mental issues, because part of the reason you miss someone so much when they die is because obviously you can never interact with them again. But then suddenly you're being promised this opportunity, like how much
for only $35 a month.
That's a brain fuck.
Yeah. Maybe that is a Black Mirror episode already. Actually, I don't know. Not seen them all.
I've not watched that. I need to look at it.
No, it's not. Well, perhaps you're Black Mirror, but I don't know if it's a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Is it not the truth then that the more advanced technologically we are, the more scope for weird behaviors we as society have, and there will be people that will follow this like a weird, are not detached from reality activities?
I don't know. You could talk
I
about
guess we could
drugs
now
in
have
the 60s and 70s, huh? Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we could now have a long definition debate about what is weird and how you define weird, etc.
Mine's weird.
I don't know.
Hi, so
No, but I think there are objective ways to define this, right? So, for me, it's muscle atrophy. And if someone tells me we're becoming more intelligent because AI, I have yet to hear a compelling argument. And here, the MIT study, I think there's more science to be done here, and it was certainly a little bit more short term, a little bit smaller sample, but it is still, this is not pseudoscience, this is actual science. I think it is suggesting the opposite of what my intuition has been telling me for 4 years.